Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? I'm back with a little video. Kind of give a little update on what's going on with me. For those who might be wondering and maybe a little concerned in some cases, which I really appreciate a lot. It says a lot about this the gaming community that I'm part of. Mainly, obviously on Xbox, but also on my couple of fans that I may have on the PlayStation side, which I doubt are many, but I may have some. Who knows? Basically, I'm doing a little video, uh, which I'm gonna title, the state of gaming. Shout outs to Sega Forever because he's been wanting to do a podcast about all the topics in general, but this one in particular, I want to kind of tackle with my own thoughts, real quick and briefly, about the state of gaming today and the obsession that gamers are having. Um, I guess particularly on the PlayStation side of things, with really racy and hardcore topics in gamings, particularly like things like sexual preferences, uh, you know topics that are like too racy or that really don't, I feel in generally don't really appeal to the whole gaming community side, other than just a few hardcore people that enjoy having this diversity in stories or in certain games. Like I said, and you guys all know the whites in my hair and the grays in my face. Gaming. I've been doing this since the beginning in the Atari area, when Pong came out and when things like Odyssey was out, and then the arcades. Then we had the recession, as you all know. I don't want to sound like a broken record, as I've said many times before. But I don't understand what is this obsession that these gamers have with old school gamers, particularly like myself, right? Where they automatically assume that because I'm an old school gamer, I don't have an open mind, or I'm not, you know, or I'm stuck in the past. Because there are differences and there's reasons why, and I usually try to give those reasons in which why I say what I say without trying to offend nobody, obviously. But it's very hard to touch any context of any opinion or any thoughts without somebody feeling some kind of way, or maybe even to a certain extent, maybe feel even triggered or mad, which I think first and foremost, the what makes you game unique from the very beginning on the offset is that there's a little bit for everybody, right? And there really is, and because there is, we're all entitled to feel different in certain type of way about certain type of things in games. My argument is particularly, I've always, if you follow me on Twitter, always bump in heads with somebody for a lot of different reasons. Like, for example, one of the topics is that, about sexual preferences in a game. Now, I'm not saying that it's wrong, okay, for certain particular games to have these kind of contexts, because that's why there's a rating system, okay? But what I do like to bring out, as far as a argument, if you will, to certain type of people that argue this, and try to always defend this, is that these types of contact of topics don't add nothing at all to the experience of the gameplay and the fun of a game. Meaning, when you're playing the game, if you're having, the most important part of a game, everybody knows is gameplay, and and the gameplay mechanics, and if the game is fun. Now, having nice graphics, having good story, having racy topics, it's all just a bonus here and there, depending on the game that you're talking about, or the developer you're talking about, or the type of game that it is. And I always see these guys always arguing, especially about the Japanese type games like Persona 5, Persona 4, or just to give an example, they talk about it like it's something new, when this is something that's been going on in the world of anime and mangas and games in general for a very long time. They just wouldn't put those type of topics. And something like even The Last of Us. My gripe with this stuff is that as a gamer, if I buy a game, I don't want to feel like I have to be forced to watch this or see this in a game if I particularly don't believe in the type of lifestyle of a gay person, or if I'm not gay myself, obviously, because I'm not, or if I, or transsexual or things like that of that nature. But I don't say them to offend people that are, because they're human beings, and most of these people to have really good hearts and really good people. It's just their choice of sexual preference. But when you're playing a game, I don't like feeling when I'm playing that game that is forced on me. Being a heterosexual, right, person and a man, I don't like seeing it in a game. I don't even like seeing it in movies because I don't believe in it and I don't practice it. So it kind of bothers me that they add it in games like it's okay for the whole general audience, when in reality it should be something that's implemented there by choice. Now, what do I mean when I say by choice? Give you an example. I'm going to use two games in particular that I have in mind. Something like Fable. When Fable came out, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments later on. Fable was a game that you were able to get married, have children, or be gay, obviously. Have a partner of the same, gender. Now, it wasn't part of Fable's lore. It was part of the experience as far as, oh, well, if you choose to be this way or do these things, you can. So I think it's great for the people that are gay or that are transsexual or that are homosexual, if you will, without offending anyone, if I'm using the proper terms or not. If you can pick it in the game because it's a choice they give you a more appealing, experience based on your real life preferences, right? Because, if you are gay, that's cool. But the cool thing is that I can go in there and play it as a heterosexual person. And when I'm playing it, it's my choice if I want to do that or not. I can be straight. And it doesn't change the gameplay mechanics. It doesn't change the fun in the game. It just lets me play based on my preference of lifestyle, right? Or, for example, in something like Mass Effect. Mass Effect is a game that, again, you can have relationships with aliens. Now, we all know that it's never really been proven, even though there's a lot of documentaries and proof out there of certain things that are unexplainable, that there's aliens in the real universe. But it's not really real based on our knowledge and facts that we have. It's not something that's been proven 100% solid. You can do that. You can also have gay characters. I believe Mortal Kombat, the new one of the characters is gay, but they don't implement it in the game where you're having a fight and maybe one of his moves is he touches another fighter's ass with his hands, if you will, showing a gay gesture. They didn't do that. They added in this bio, in this text of what it is, and that's it. Because it's really not something that's going to change the gameplay experience in the game. And I don't understand why these people, playing RPGs or Japanese-centric games, think that this is essential. And if you don't have it, and gamers are against it, like myself, because I don't see the need for it, that I'm automatically homophobic, that I hate gay people, or that I don't care about, gay people's feelings or sentiments, which is absolutely absurd and further from the truth, because that's not reality. In real life, I have many gay friends and gay family, and I love them to death because they're beautiful. They're wonderful people. They're just like any normal other person. And that's their business. It's their prerogative. But if you're doing something like paying for something that you want, like a movie or a game, you should have the freedom of expressing yourself as a person or as a gamer or as a person that watches movies as a hobby to say, well, I liked this, but I didn't like that this was implemented because I didn't feel it was necessary. Because in most cases, it isn't. Kind of like in Persona, there's these bad people and they're trying to get rid of them or trying to eliminate them. And these people have done really hideous things in some cases, like, molested a girl or sexually abused a woman. And the guy may be older and she may be a younger girl, like a student. And, it's just to give a little bit more diversity to the story, to make it maybe perhaps feel a little bit more realistic. And I get it. But that's why it's my choice that once I play it and I realize, hey, this is what's in the story. If I don't really like it, I don't have to really buy it. And I don't have to really keep playing it or return it or trade it in or not keep it, if you will. Because that's the choice of being a movie viewer or a gamer. My point that I'm trying to get is I don't understand the mentality of gaming and the state of gaming today with a lot of newer gamers that didn't grow up like, let's say, in the Atari era or in the Master System era or the NES era, where they think that they're entitled to something just because maybe of their own sexual preference or lifestyle. If you're gay or you're homosexual or you're a transgender, that's your business. That's fine. But that doesn't mean I have to shut my mouth and not say, listen, I don't feel that this is necessary in the game. If it's an option that you have the choice to do it, hey, put it in there. And I'm glad that gaming has evolved and grown so much that you can do things like this to appeal to everybody, not just the actual, hardcore gamers that have been here since day one, like in the case of, myself and many others that I know. That been there playing games when they were just about the gameplay and the fun factor of the game. So the main question I always ask is if it adds to the gameplay experience or to the fun factor of the game, please explain it to me. Tell me how, and break it down. Because the only thing it adds to is that if a person is, in real life, a homosexual, a gay person, a transgender person, that is fun for them to see that it's in the game because it's part of real life. That's all it does. But it doesn't mean that because me being a person that's heterosexual, that I have to like it, be comfortable with it, and think it's okay or it belongs there when I feel it doesn't. When the bottom line is, it still doesn't add to the gaming experience of a game, meaning the gameplay mechanics and the fun factor of a game. It doesn't change it. Whether a person's straight or gay in a game is not going to change gameplay elements, and it's not going to make the game more fun or less fun, unless, in this case, you're not a person that approves of that lifestyle or behavior, right? Or because you may be religious, because let's get real, there's a lot of people out here that are religious that play video games, and you have to respect everybody's feelings and thoughts because of that. You can't be self-entitled and feel, oh no, fuck them, we just got to worry about just these people and that's it. You can't do that. It works both ways. It's the same thing for a gay person playing a game and not having the choice to do something maybe that they want to do in the game. That's gay. That's why I said as a choice, it's great. As a choice, it's evolving. It's an evolvement and a movement in a medium like video games. That's cool because the option is there. In the case of games like Mass Effect or a Fable, but when it's forced on you on the story that you're enjoying, let's say, and then they put this there, and you see no point for it being there. Other than it's to argue something within the game, then that's different. And that's not even how they put it. They don't put it where that's part of the subject where you argue in the game. It's just, oh, it's here, this person's this way, they did something bad, okay. Should they be forgiven or not? Something like that, let's say, okay? Even if it's in there like that, it still doesn't change the gameplay experience and the mechanics and the fun factor. It's just, it's neither here or there. It's okay if it is, if it's not, well, whatever. But I don't understand how these people can keep pushing this agenda. It's almost like an agenda. If you don't, it's like saying, I don't like, let's say, eating from McDonald's, right? But I like eating from Burger King. Then that means I'm an idiot because I don't like McDonald's, but I only like Burger King. It's a preference. But I can still say it out loud because I'm an adult, and as an adult, I have that right. I have that right to express myself and speak about it, because that's why gaming is unique, because it's all our preferences. Give me a minute, people. I'm back. Sorry. So, not to make this video too long. So, as an adult, as a gamer, as a person that supports this medium, I have a right to say what I feel without having to worry about, or I should have to worry about, people getting offended. We're supposed to be mature and adults about every situation in life. It is what it is. It may feel unfair. It may seem unfair, but the bottom of the line is, it's reality. You cannot force something on people if they're not happy with it. The same way, maybe as girls may not, females may not feel that it's fair that a lot of games don't have girl protagonists in games, which that has changed, and there's many games now with cool female protagonists, and cool games with female protagonists, which are amazing, which are critically acclaimed. We got Bayonetta, we got Recore, we got just to name a few. We got things like Tomb Raider, right? And again, I know there's more. I said very clearly, it's just to name a few. So I mean, I don't understand why it's so hard to comprehend this when you tell people, because that doesn't make me homophobic, or that doesn't make me a hater of gay people or transgenders or whatever the case may be. And again, whoever watches this, with all due respect, I'm not trying to offend anybody, if you will. I really am not. I'm speaking from the heart as a human being, as a good person, and as a gamer that enjoys the hobby. That's been here and stemmed away for gaming since day one, and supported it so that it could be where it is today, which a lot of these younger, audiences and people didn't do. They weren't there. They don't understand how hard it was for gaming to be where it is now throughout the years, because when I was growing up, gaming was looked at as a waste of time. Kids were sick in the head. They were probably possessed by the devil. Stupid, outrageous, outlandish thoughts, because there wasn't as much liberty or liberation in things, that because these back then, because these topics were sensitive and people did not want to give exposure to it, because not everybody would agree with it, to avoid conflict, to avoid arguments, to avoid misinterpretations or hurting anyone, and that is the reason why I say that in a game, it should be implemented in the way that it not that it shouldn't be there, but it should be implemented in ways like Fable and Mass Effect, where it's a choice to the player. It's a personal experience to that player, not because it's forced down your throat, whatever the topic may be. It could be a man that kills kids. Some people may not be comfortable with that, okay? Or a man that likes to have sexual encounters with kids, right? Because that's considered a pedophile, okay? And I know it's just gaming, but the point is, it's an interactive experience. So we shouldn't have to be forced down our throats topics like that, because not everybody is going to feel comfortable with it or approve of it. So I don't know if I'm going to get hate over this little video. I kind of just wanted to let everybody know I'm okay. I have been very sick. I'm dealing with some health issues because of me not taking care of myself when I was younger enough. And, it's not easy when you get older and you have a lot of children, a family, not a good regimen of how you eat or what you eat, because your economic reasons, or economic reasons, or because you can't afford it, whatever the case may be. So, I'm I'm going to end it with this. I respect everyone and I love everyone. I'm a good person. I have a good heart. But this generation of gamers has to start to understand that gaming is a hobby, okay, with millions and millions of people, if not billions at this point, in different consoles, mediums, whatever, personal computers, whatever the case may be. We have to make sure that when we do something, it's going to appeal not only to the masses, but to other people, but do it with responsibility, not forcing it down people's throats. And many of you may not agree with me, and many of you may agree with me. But if that's something that you can't talk about with anybody else that may not agree with you in an adult manner or fashion, respectfully, then maybe you're not in the right state of mind or hobby for that matter. So again, we have to respect everybody's feelings. And I try to choose my words carefully. Texting can take things out of context. But I do not appreciate people saying that I'm not, that I need to grow up, that I'm stuck, or that I'm homophobic, or I hate gay people, because that's further from the truth. Cut the dumb shit out, cut the nonsense. You don't know me, and I don't know you. But the bottom line is, I can get on here, do a video, speak my piece, and say why I'm saying what I'm saying. And if you can rebuttal what I'm saying about it not being a preference or actually a choice instead of being forced for you, then go right ahead and do it. Because that's what this whole thing is all about agreeing or disagreeing. It's all a matter of people's different opinions and different ways of thinking and different ways of living their lifestyle. Okay? It doesn't belong there. Because if it did, give you a perfect example. It shouldn't be forced. A movie like 300. 300, everybody that really actually read the books and history, they know that the Spartans, in order to have a closer connection, would force or would have sexual encounters with other men that they fought on the field with. They would pick a partner to defend each other more personally, so because you have a personal connection. And that wasn't implemented in the movie. Because if you did that, a lot of people would have been offended or bothered by it. And that's a fact. I'm not making that up. That's just a fact. It's a general fact, as a matter of fact. I'm not making that up. It's the truth. It's like movies that people don't like because they have scenes where they show men trying to do sexual acts to little kids. It is what it is. We're paying money for it. So we should have the respect from all sides. Not just this agenda of, if we don't accept it or like it or believe in the lifestyle of these things, that we're automatically old fogies, that we're stuck, we don't think maturely, that we're this or that, because that's not true. Okay? That's further from the truth. So again, thanks guys. I hope you liked the video. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. I respect everybody's thoughts and opinions. Please do not get offended, because it was not my intention. I just wanted to clear the air on my thoughts and why I say what I say. For those who follow me on Twitter, on my YouTube channel, or even on podcasts when you hear me talk, because sometimes it may sound one way, but it really isn't that way. And I'm tired of people trying to, have conflict with me, saying something because they think they know me because of what I'm saying when I'm speaking, what I have the right as a gamer in this community to say, because I am a supporter of the hobby. And I also have kids. And I want my kids to have their choices not be done by them, not because it's forced to them through a certain medium like video games or a movie. So, again, thanks again. I should be doing some stuff soon. I'm probably going to get people mad. Like I said, it's all for fun and to bring out misinformation that was always out there to the best of my ability. Because I'm not always right. I'm not perfect, but I try to be. So basically, if I don't know about it, I don't open my mouth, or I try not to. If I do, and I'm about 95% sure, that's when I usually try to open my mouth to talk about it, because it gets you out of trouble a lot of times. Like, comment, share, or subscribe. If you subscribe to my channel, I'm going to appreciate it, because I know you don't have to, but you will become part of my family. So check me out at intromediagaming.com and in my Facebook group, the DX Mansion, which now we're part of the Tick Podcast, I believe, with Mark Woodland, which is I believe a really nice collaboration. Hopefully we can grow together. Guys, let's just stop feeling so entitled with these things, because it's really an argument that cannot be won, because everybody's never going to be happy. You got to respect everybody's feelings and thoughts. It's like a PC gamer wanting games free because he goes out and spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on the best rig possible with the highest and greatest and most latest gadgets, and feel because he did this that everything for him has to be free, or for them, when it's further from, because that was your choice, having your computer be at that standard and with those high specs to get the best performance out of all your games, because you wanted it that way. You made that choice. That's why it's called a personal computer. It's not under one ecosystem. It never can be, because there's too many variables. Everybody has different rigs and different specs and use different servers and things of that nature. That's why the console space is, so much more convenient, because everything's in one ecosystem. So all the benefits that you get on the console, everybody who buys it experiences the same. You don't miss out on the experiences. Again, guys, love you. Be good. You'll see me soon doing some stuff. And, keep it gaming, Xbox for life, like a sickness that can't be cured. That's my saying. That's my slogan. Don't get triggered. It's just a preference. Be good, guys.